Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Fantasy Island Season 1, Episode 1. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. Yeah, I'm trying to get some more shows over here on this channel that's not, specifically reality shows. I love a good, okay, be careful what you ask for type of what's going on here, a twist and turns type of show. I had that with the passage, but then they messed that up, and then there was just only one season. Emergence, there that could have went further as well, but then they was like, okay, this little girl who we thought was a little girl who does everything that a human can do, she a robot, and that messed that up. I love Manifest, but they talk about some Manifest was canceled, but then it was like we're gonna bring it back because the people was mad. So I don't know. I did try watching the original Fantasy Island yesterday, and I got like a couple of episodes in, but then I was like, okay, I'm trying to see the vibe of the show before we come over here to the rebooted version. So we start off with Christina. She is a morning talk show host who is obsessed with looking young and staying thin. That's she since she's on TV, those are the criteria you gotta have. You gotta be because there's always some new young thing out there that is skinnier than you. She has a mini meltdown on on camera when the weatherman brings in donuts right before she's ready to go on air. Like this woman is working on limited sleep because she's up exercising, so on the exercise bike, surviving on protein shakes and kale when all she wants is pizza, burgers, and sleep. I was like, girl, I understand with like working on limited sleep, but like kale is not in my repertoire and getting exercise is not my repertoire either. I mean, I get what you're saying, want to eat, and not gain weight because if I could do that, I'm telling y'all, in my 20s, I could do that. Then, like, right when I was creeping up on my 30s, my body said, stop, no, we can no longer do this. But yeah, we meet Eleanor. She is the owner of the island, and she is the great niece of Mr. Rourke, the original um, owner of the island. Her family has been guardians of the island for generations, and the island knows what you want, even though if you don't. So Christine is there because she just wants to eat and eat and eat, and when she leaves, she has not gained any weight. It's her. We're seeing in this episode, we see more and more of how she became to where she was. She had went on a date. She was working at like a small news station. She went on a date. She had pizza and beer and dessert. And the next day, one of her callers said, "Hey, wrote and said, hey, look like you gained weight. You must be having some sort of personal problem." And that's when she went on this, okay, I'm gonna eat healthy, no carbs, no sugar, and all that other stuff. Well, while there, her dreams came true. First, she was like, I ain't gonna gain no weight while I'm here. And Elena was like, no. So she gives her a truffle, and she's like, oh my goodness, this tastes so good. And I was like, I know the feeling because it was at one point, this was like 2013. I had went like 6 months without drinking any soda, and it was a red cream soda, like one of my favorites. And my mom was drinking one, and I was like, I just wanted to taste. And that first taste was like, oh, it was it was wonderful. But now I've been like over 2 years where I haven't had a soda. I mean, I'll be wanting one all the time, like a Dr. Pepper, oh, a Big Red. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then, like, after she eats the truffle, like another one appears, and she's like, "Oh, yes." Will her dreams come true? Because in her room, there are pastries, there's cakes, pies, everything that she can eat in her room. And I was like, that would be a fantasy, but like, I'm also at the age where like I can't be eating too many sweets. Like, I can't do like frosting anymore. It's too sweet for me. Even though I like a whipped icing over a buttercream icing, but like some stuff to me it's like, oh, that's too sweet. I can't do that. And I was like, where did that come from? Like, am I at the age where I can't be eating sweets like that? It kind of made me nervous. Well, we have an older couple, Mel and Ruby. Ruby has pancreatic cancer, and her fantasy is she wants to feel better for a few days. She knows the island's not gonna cure her and all that stuff. It's like, I just want to feel healthy for a few days. She spent her life taking care of Mel, their kids and grandkids, and she just wants to have fun dancing and walking on the beach. Well, while these two were out in the jungle exploring, which, side note, couldn't it be me? Jungle, nope, couldn't do it. Woods, couldn't do it. I seen vlog. That chick Angel, her and her husband Marcus, they was in Hawaii walking around, and he said this seems like Jurassic Park, and I was like, yes, maybe so because they did film some of Jurassic Park in Hawaii, but it looked like one like some dinosaur was gonna jump out on you. Looked beautiful, but I was like, I couldn't do it. Even though they had a guide and like several other people with them, looked beautiful, but for me, I in my mind, even though this is really unrealistically that could happen, I would blink and then everybody go and I'm there by myself. No, couldn't do it. It looked beautiful, but Mel and Ruby they out in the jungle walking around and they see this waterfall and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna get in. So he's like, hold on, baby, I'm right behind you. So they get in the water and they turn to their 20-year-old selves. It was like, oh, this is nice, my knee not hurting, my back not hurting. I'm not making noise when I'm standing up or sitting down, and I'm at that age, and my nephew does not let me forget it. I'm sad. No, my nephew he started high school this week, y'all. I was like, you were a freshman, you was a baby. Now you taller than me, which he won't let me forget. Your voice is deep. You sound like a grown man, which you don't let me forget. And you be making fun of me when I be getting up making noises. Yeah. But anyways, these two are cute. But y'all, Christina, she is eating everything in her room. And she's like, you know what? I'm still hungry. I'm like, girl, okay. Didn't know it was possible, but hey, she sees the waiters over there taking trays of food to another room. So she's like, okay, I'm going to follow you and I'm going to continuously eating. She eating sushi, she eating this, that, the third. But it was one food that Elena brought her. She was like, why would you bring me that? It was a snack that her mom used to make. And this is when we we also see a wedding cake and she was like, no, we not finna do this. This is when we're transported back to 1984. Her mama just got married. She's so happy for her mom. Was like, yay, we got a family now. And we meet the old raggedy stepdaddy. And she eating her a piece of cake. She a child. He talking about something. And don't be eating too much cake because no kid of mine is going to be a heifer. So this is when food issues with her have started because she got an old raggedy stepdaddy, and it seems she had a horrible childhood. Her mom got sick and the stepdaddy was making comments talking about something, you ain't gonna be able to be on TV because you got them doggone horse teeth. I'll get them crooked teeth fixed for you. Yeah, that man was awful. And like she was going through like a downward spiral at one point, and like the stepdaddy kept on appearing, and she like clunked him over the head and like and it seems like he may have been somewhat abusive to her. That's the feeling I got because like every time he came around she tensed up and she was like, why would you send me there? I don't want to be around that man. Just hearing her name, it was like it wasn't Christina, it was something else. But she thought, she sent that daddy right on over there to the flames. And that's when she was able to like appease her hunger. Because this dude kept on popping up out of nowhere. And I don't want to, it maybe it was a vision that the island was doing to her. But, you know, she thought she put that man in the arms of the flames. And that's when she was able to finally get over her issues with food. It started because the stepdaddy didn't want no heifer, his words, not mine. He was always talking about her teeth. And when her mom passed, it was just the stepdaddy and her. And he basically like, you ain't never gonna be nothing. You think you this, that, and the third. You got all these friends and all this other stuff. It was just like that childhood trauma. That's what it was. She was finally able to get through her childhood trauma. Well, Ruby, she was out on the beach running, and like some girl came up to her and they was talking, and the girl went to go touch her, and I was like, that's interesting. And I was thinking, was Ruby a lesbian when she was younger? But since this was 50 years ago, it wasn't acceptable. So she got with Mel instead, and it seems like that was the case because she took some kind of concoction, her and Mel, and she got kind of high, and she got a tattoo. And while she was getting a tattoo, Mel had seen the tattoo artist kind of like rubbing on Mel's leg, and he was like, when they went back to the room, he was like, "You remember your friend? She kind of up and disappeared." She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You loved her, didn't you?" And she was like, "He's like, I know that I love you more than you love me. I know that." She was like, "Even though that may be true, I love you. I wouldn't have given up these 50 years I had with you for nothing. Our children, our grandkids." She assured him like that's the path that she couldn't have taken, but she doesn't regret the path she has chosen with him. And I was like, oh, that was sweet. So they're about to leave. Well, they sitting there, and Elena, she had been having this constant thing of something about Ruby was like calling her. She couldn't put her finger on it. It's like, what was it? And it found out she looked at the tattoo that Ruby had, and she explained to Ruby that tattoo means rebirth. She would like Ruby to stay on the island as her younger self, but it can only be her. And then Mel would have to, leave the island, the older man. But Ruby doesn't want to do it. But he was like, "This is your chance, baby. I've had 50 years with you." He don't. He loved her so much that he don't want her, even though he old now. He wants her to stay young so she can continuously live. And the tattoo, you know, the island chose her because she was like, "What made you choose that tattoo?" She was like, "I don't know, something spoke to me." So as Mel was leaving, her tattoo kind of like turned and twisted. I was like, that was pretty and that was interesting. I was like, I don't know exactly what that means. I guess she gonna be the new tattoo because they don't have a tattoo as of now. Y'all know an original tattoo was always like the plane, the plane. So I guess she's gonna be the new tattoo, minus saying the plane, the plane. I don't know, but like I enjoyed this first episode. Ruby, I don't know if she was there because of the island, but I know Christina, she was able to, childhood trauma, she was able to overcome that and like not so. She spent her so much time for perfection that she doesn't go on dates. She has no social life. And like people around you, do they have social life? You so focused on staying thin that you up early, exercising, and then you leave work and you so tired by the end of the day, you don't have no time for nobody else. So hopefully this, she was able to have a life. Well, Ruby, she decides to stay, like I said, so we're gonna see some more of her. So y'all, I enjoyed this episode. So if I left anything out, by all means leave a comment below. If you were new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so my beautiful face puts up a video. You can click on it, you can like it, you can share with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my people by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.